Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Comic Swag. It's your boy J-Rock right here. Today we're gonna be dropping another overview. So we're gonna do an overview talking about the physical build of this book, and we're gonna do a quick review because I just finished reading it. So we'll talk about the story a little bit in case you're not familiar with this character. This is Savage Dragon by Erik Larsen. This is volume 1. I do apologize for the glare. It's a new ring light I got, so let me know if the lighting looks any different to you guys from previous videos. It's the first time using this lighting. So yeah, we're gonna talk about this a little bit, and I have this book right here with all the original single issues. This is up to like issue 25, right? On mine, I included miniseries and stuff like that that are not on the hardcover. There's a few differences I noticed, and we'll talk about it a little bit as I show them, right? So we're gonna go ahead and go overview, and we'll get into the nitty gritty, right? All right, so this is the way the book looks. It has this dust jacket, right? So now if you see the dust jacket and you see the book, it's exactly the same, right? So we're kind of just skip the dust jacket. It's all the same thing. So let's just talk about this. Okay, so this is the front cover. It says Ultimate Collections, Erik Larsen Volume 1. I wasn't a fan of the way this looks, but oh well, it is what it is, right? This is the back of the book. I really do enjoy the back. Sorry about the glare. Let me put this thing right here. Okay, so this is the back of it. Shows a few panels here of different situations, different pages in the book, right? I really enjoyed this. Then it tells you here, it says collecting the original Savage Dragon miniseries, the Dragon 1 through 5, and then the Savage Dragon ongoing 1 through 8. If you guys are familiar with Savage Dragon from back in the days, the miniseries was only 3 issues. So here it says 5 issues, right? So that's something that completely tripped me out. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, as well as some other things. This is the spine. You know, again, like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of the design of this. I do like this and this. This I felt could have just said Savage Dragon and Erik Larsen, right? And it could have had like cooler letters than this. Like the Savage, like these letters. Could have had these Savage Dragon letters right here. And then just say Erik Larsen. We didn't need this whole Ultimate Collection thing there, especially if you're already putting it over here, right? So anyways, that's just my personal preference. One thing I didn't enjoy. This has these here in the inside. The dust jacket, it does have this forward and whatnot. I have not read this yet, so I can't really talk much about this. Okay, when you open it, you see these awesome artwork on the inner cover. I really enjoyed this. It shows Savage Dragon here in this like pit of fire. Now on the other side, look at this. This looks freaking badass. I loved it. Which more books did stuff like this as far as comic book hardcovers, right? Has Savage Dragon here, and then it says here, "Are you through?" This is a panel in one of the pages, right? But this looks awesome. It looks so big right here when it's a 2-page spread of just one panel. And look at how big the word bubble is. Really enjoyed that. So now let's get into the beginning of the book itself. Now look at here. This is the first page. It says Ultimate Collections Volume 1. Here it says Erik Larsen. Then it gives you, he draws everything, right? But it gives you credit for, there's a bunch of different colorists. Every issue has different colors. So a lot of colors here. Gives credit to all of them. I think there's a few different letters as well. Gives everything right here. Credit to everyone that deserves credit, right? Here has Robert Kirkman. He's talking about how he grew up reading Youngbloods and Savage Dragon, and you know, eventually he works for Image now, right? Like he's one of the top dogs there. Look at here. This is the first page and no cover. I hate when they don't put covers. I don't know why books decide to put all the covers at the end of the book. They are here at the end of the book. Was not a fan of that. Okay, now let me show this. Before we get into the cover gallery, look at my book here. This is with the original single issues. This would be the cover, right? After the cover, look at the first page. You see what's on the first page here. Here, the cover would be here, and look at the first page. It's something completely different, right? So I noticed that I was like, the order is completely wrong. Look, here he's fighting this guy first. And look, on this book, you would go through all these pages. Then you would get to that page where he's fighting this guy. Right? So he changed up the order on the hardcover from how it would be on the single issues. I'm not sure why that happened. All the same materials on both, but in a different order. And it's all still issue 1. So it's not like he put issue 2 first, then issue 1. It's in the same issue. He just switched the pages around. Now look at here. After he finishes fighting this guy, you switch the page, and then we get the fire page, right? And then now we get these pages of the beginning of what would be in the hardcover. Okay, so now on the hardcover, it starts with the fire, and then he's in the hospital and he's talking to this guy, and he's kind of like lost. He's like, I don't know who I am. He has amnesia. He can't remember his past. So we get this part first. Once we're done with all this, he joins the police department right here. You can see he's joining the police department. Right here, he's being introduced to everybody. And then we get to this part. On the single issues, we got this story right from the beginning. He's fighting this guy. After he fights this guy, he tells a story about how, then we get back to this part, how he starts in this fire, right? And then how he met this cop and how he became a police officer. So it switches the first half and the second half. It switches them around in the hardcover. I do not know why they did that. Here is another interesting thing. This page, you see after this one, the next page, this right here where he meets this nurse. On this one, look. That's this page, right? That's this one. So the next page should be this one. When you flip it, it's this. So here you get this whole extra page that's not included in the single issues. And then the next page is this one. By the way, here, the coloring, I really enjoy this one on the original comics a lot more than the hardcovers. It gives Savage Dragon more personality here, more depth. Here is just the same tone of color. Here's a lot of different shades of green, right? So that's one thing where I thought it looked better here. Okay, so that's one thing right there. And this happens quite a few times here where on the hardcover, we get 1 or 2 extra pages of material that wasn't on this, right? On the original single issues. Let me get to another one real quick. Okay, so there's quite a bit of differences here. Now look at this, for example. The coloring here, this girl, look at she has a blue shirt, blue pants, and a midnight blue hair. Over here, she has orange shirt, green pants, brown hair. So here, I thought this was an improvement. They changed the colors up a little bit. They look a lot better here than here. It's not always the case, but for the most part, when they do change the colors, it's usually for the better. But again, not always. Here, look at this. The letters are all red. Here, this one's red. This one's like orange. So I think they look a lot better here as well. Look at this word bubbles here that are like purple. Right there. And look at on this one. They're blue and white, right? Another interesting thing is, look at after this page with Super Patriot. Now look at here again. We fast forward some more over here. Now it's the same page. Again, it looks far superior here at night compared to here at daytime. And the lettering is a little different. I just like a lot of the coloring here a lot more. Now let's go to the next page. Now we have again here the next page. See here it's like at night and so forth, looks badass. Here it still looks okay, but at daytime it just has a whole different tone. It looks better here, right? To me at least, and in the nighttime. And again, the green coloring for Savage Dragon looks a lot cooler here. He almost looks like he's trying to be Commando here or Terminator, you know, like there's doing some type of take on Arnold, who was real popular at this time. Let's do one last one. This is the hardcover. Look at here, more colors and stuff. Here, there's no colors. It's just like orange because there's a lot of firepower being used. Again, I like this more than this. Me personally, because this orange and red, it gives it a feel of like an emergency, like an intense moment, right? And here it just has all these colors. Like this looks better. It looks like in a submarine when it says red alert, right? And the lights blinking, it would look like that. It makes it feel more intense. Look at here, the next page, what you got. And look at over here, you got Savage Dragon getting shot in the face. There's the single issues. See, it's 2 different things. You got this and that. Here you get this and this. Then when you change the page, now it's Savage Dragon. And again here, see it's all bright white because he's getting hit. Here it's all just the same colors. So again, I think this looks better here. Then here we got this guy now. Okay. So now we got this guy. This is all kind of the same. The next page, this on the hardcover. Here the next page is something completely different. Again, I don't know why this is like a mess. I don't know why they did this. What? And that's the end of the issue. And here it doesn't show this would be the end of the issue, so you would have the cover here. It doesn't show you the cover, so you don't know where one issue ends, one starts. Now here, after this fight scene, he's walking out with this girl, right? Okay, that's cool. And then they're over here, right? That one is actually this bonus page they added where he saves the girl and he's walking out. That's pretty cool. Then this page is the one you had over here too. See, you have that right here. But on this one, they added this page that is not on that book at all, on the single issue. So this was added for the hardcover, and this was actually pretty cool. It adds a lot to the story because now it shows him saving the girl and walking out, right? Instead of just going from this panel to the villains, right? So that was pretty cool. Now here's this the beginning of the next issue. No cover. This one would end here. Here you would have the cover, and then you would start the next issue, like you would have here. Let's see. Here's the cover. And then, yeah, the beginning of the next issue. See, okay. So, see, you at the end of every issue, you would add like an extra page of material that's not on the other one. It's not on the singles. So, that kind of helps at times. But one thing I don't like is why they changed the pages around. Like, I don't know, I guess it makes more sense that way. I just read both and I don't even remember if I even I noticed the pages were in a different order, but I don't know if I remember if it made more sense, if it enhanced the reading experience in any order. Definitely didn't ruin it in any way, so I guess it's not that big a deal. But you know, some people are like perfectionists or they're purists. They want it to be exactly like it was in the single issues. So these are things that are to be cautious of, right? There was some moving of things around here, and again, you do get one more thing, the more this is pretty important. You get these stories over here at the end, right? Check it out. You get this story here with Rapture and with some of these other characters, their introduction, and then how they meet Savage Dragon. I don't know why they saved these for the end. These were so important that you put them in chronological order because these stories show how these characters met Savage Dragon. So they should be put in order, right? Because now you have Savage Dragon, and from one issue to the next, he just randomly knows them already. And they're like, oh, remember when we saved the day that day? And you don't even know what they're talking about because it's in these other stories that are all the way to the end of the book. Once you read this, you're like, oh, now that some of that other stuff makes sense, and now we know how he met them. But on my book, the one I custom made over here, these were in the right order, right? Because they were bringing them out as the books came along. And here, I don't know, I guess he tried to get fancy having it as like, oh, bonus story at the end. I was not a fan of that. This should have just been there the way it was meant to be so we could see how he met Mighty Man and how he met Rapture, how they joined the team and so forth. Instead of putting it at the end and in the reading, this part did ruin the reading experience because they just appear and you're like, what the hell, how did he meet these new characters? And you're all like, what the hell, I guess they're just here and we just go with it, right? And I thought they weren't even going to be included here. Until I got to the end, I was like, oh, cool, they're at the end of the book. So that was just, I don't know why they did that either. This I wasn't a fan of, and the covers, putting the covers all the way back here. Here we go, all these covers. Wasn't a fan of putting these at the end. They should have been at the end of each issue. There was a Spawn compendium, kind of like an omnibus, but in paperback format. Collects the first 50 issues of Spawn. I was going to buy that. The main reason I didn't get it is because it didn't have the covers. So I was like, oh, that's a pass for me. This one I did not know they were going to be out of order, but at least we do get them. But it makes things so confusing. The worst part was why they move so many things around, like I said. But it is what it is. I think there's not much more I want to say about this book. I think I said everything you need to know about it. And is it worth the purchase? I think it's still worth the purchase because it's a fun read. It's cool. And it doesn't really like ruin the reading experience when they move things around. The big huge thing that I would not have done if I had to change only one thing was don't save those stories to the end. Put them where they were supposed to go. The Rapture miniseries and the Mighty Mouse one shot, right? But it is what it is. Hopefully you got something of value out of this video. It helped you make a decision if there's a book you want to pick up or not, which is kind of the point of this video, so you could know what to expect and if you still want to buy it and whatnot, right? So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Other than that, I'd just like to thank you guys for taking some time out of your day to check out the video, and I'll check you guys out next time.